remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you, everybody. Okay, approval of the agenda, additions, corrections? If not, somebody make a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion, to approve the minutes.
Someone second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. Was Amy gonna be here?
Sorry, no, she is sick.
Oh, okay. Approval of the bills, questions on the bills? Was one of these, like that MJM Medical Consortium, is that for drug testing or?
That was fire. That was.
So. When you have something like that, how can we? Can we put a red F by it so we know it's fire department? So a guy can,
I can, I mean, I know it because of the coding.
yeah, yeah.
So,
It would just be handy when you're looking at it that, you know, oh, that went to the fire department. There's one other thing in it. Yeah, the Stryker. Sales Corp. Maintenance contract.
yep, that's fire department. For that Lucas machine.
Okay, yeah,
It's the 3-year contract for the
okay.
maintenance on it.
They come and check it all over. Every year, or if we have a question, I'll go come out. Hear it or check it over whenever we request it in that contract.
Anybody else with, any questions then on the bills? If not, somebody make a motion to approve. So moved. Second,
I second it.
all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed. Motion carried. Mike Drummer, an associate, is out here tonight. I guess we'll move on to you guys and.
And our office. We're here just a month ago. Process of. Preparing our performance and get ready for. Drawing and stuff, we got thrown a curveball. That curveball is the. County has the building appraised at $2 million. Right now, standing empty, it's $40,000 tax. Vernon Center School for $187,000. Garden City's at 500, a little over 500,000 for valuation. Understanding what took place here or how this got to $2 million. We met the county out here today. Dan met with them to go into that. We have engaged a tax law firm, property tax law firm out of Twin Cities to see if we can create a plan to get this abated, removed, reduced. We don't know, but what I do know is I have something that can sell for $200,000, $1 million. And
Yeah, so this morning at about 10 AM, I met with the county at the school. We walked through. They were pretty adamant at first that the school is $1 million as is. After walking through, they have to take a bunch of photos and then we have to basically check all areas of the building. We went down to the boiler room. We went around the school, in every classroom, looked at where we think there's water damage to try to determine what the actual true value of the building is worth. They use a multitude of different ways to value a building. And so they are now going to go back to their board with like their, metrics to try to figure out a true value of what they think the building is worth. Like Mike said, we are working with a property tax law firm in the cities to try to get that valuation down further. You did mention the Garden City one, and that valuation at 100,000 includes an addition that was built in 2021, that was valued at about $250,000.
Full build out. Biggest fear we have right now is that when a permit comes through and we do a build out on the building, that they're just gonna add that to it. And guys, this is, if they value it at a high end of that, you're looking at over $300 a month property tax per unit. $300 a month property tax per unit is higher than Mankato. We're dumbfounded, we're
What's its classification right now?
actually classified it as apartments already.
It is. I thought it was classified as commercial.
That was another question we had for them, is like, we haven't swung a hammer. Put a shovel in the ground, how can this be called an apartment building?
Because apartments are lower than commercial rates, the tax rates. I mean, as a county, as the state, I mean, the state sets those. They're double.
And then there shouldn't have been any tax on it this year,
Okay.
20, but they have $39,000 worth of their tax bill on it's $39,000 to be paid.
They should have had that, so you could have went there December 8th. I believe that's when that truth and taxation hearing we have, and people have that up until that time. If they didn't make December 8th, then that should have just not been there until next December 8th.
They sent the notice out to either you or the school district, probably the school district, because they go on March the previous year, and we never got it.
Well, he talked about whatever happened December 2nd today a couple times, right? And they evaluated this December 2nd, right? And that's that's when you guys got it, right?
So they start the valuation in December, January 2nd or January 1st is that final valuation date, but then you won't know until March. But like Robert was saying, you get that truth and taxation meeting. But then when they mail out the valuation notices in March, we just never got it. So we never got to be able to fight the appeal process.
So we found all this stuff out and wanted to inform you right away. We're also here for a request, is that you guys do whatever you can to call commissioners. We've already talked to people under, and I think Vance, the other one.
Kevin Papp for that there.
Yeah, Kevin Papp.
We can't. It doesn't make any sense.
He has a process they have to go to. He said they have a board of realtors from Mankato area, right? That will evaluate this, and then you can take it to that one. And then if you don't like it, we'd still move on to the county board. There's several options there, right?
That's something that we'll let an expert handle, because there's the other options is you can't push this project forward and, okay, they do something this year and then the next year they come back and hammer. It's so similar to Garden City, it's not even funny.
Right.
I mean, how can you sit over in Garden City and have a 550 totally done with half of the value of the building being new construction?
But the gymnasium over there is in a welcome trust, and that's not taxable, right? And the acreage is in a welcome trust, as I looked it up. And that's why I think that's pretty reasonable, but this is not reasonable.
No.
I think we as a council would stand behind you as much as we can and help, we want that done. We were instrumental in hoping you would take it over and getting this all done. And yeah, this is quite a curveball. As far as ourselves, I don't know what we can do except give us a lot of support, because it is a need. It's something that would help Good Thunder.
This is fresh as of last Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've already engaged, so we'll know more. And definitely we'll keep reporting back, but again, in Good Thunder, Minnesota, an average tax bill of $300 a month per unit.
Would you know what, like an apartment in Mankato, I don't know how you would evaluate equivalent, what would it be in Mankato? Of course, they got so many more area to spread it out on. Good Thunder is only so big. You only got 200 households. You only got 15 businesses.
Some of the stuff they do though is when they assess property, they can assess it different methods. They're assessing this in the replacement cost value of it, and that's just, it can't be, it's gotta be based off of what, which is the cash basis, the,
You like a gross receipt, like.
yeah, if you base it off as, of what the rents are, that's a fair amount, you're leaving.
Yeah, when he kept bringing,
We were talking about the rents we were talking about, originally. The 3 bedrooms would be pushing $1,400. I just don't, I don't see that happening here. This is,
he bring up that replacement cost. He's not an insurance company. That's what the insurance companies ask or would say, well, this is what's gonna cost, you know, to insure it because of replacement cost. I don't know why the county brings that replacement cost up.
and again, I'm wrapped up with, they were trying to get 200 some thousand dollars, and there was nothing. It's just, that's the number to me that's worth now, plus whatever we put into it, but, and that should bring us to the $30,000 a year. And you divide that out, it's $117 per door for property tax, and you can do affordable housing. I mean, the irony of this is the government talks all the time about, we need housing that's affordable. And then this is the curveball we get thrown.
Blue West County just made it unaffordable.
Well.
Yep.
You know, again, there's experts in this field that need to sit down and see if they can get this worked out. I know at that tax rate, it's not a viable project, so we need to get it. We need to get it into a realm that makes it a viable project.
As long as you're going to involve a special attorney or law firm, I wonder if you could ask them if the city has the power to abate a portion of the city portion of the tax.
Yeah, I know that you do, for sure. Not everybody does. The whole thing could be abated. I know that for sure, but that doesn't solve the problem of next year and the year after and the year after.
Right, no.
That's the big issue.
I realize that, but in an effort to get the ball moving, thinking, you know, that maybe we could look at something like that, but you know, it always opens up the door then, you know,
Right.
who's next? Who's going to be next year wondering, my property taxes are too high.
But again, it's a good gesture from us to you. Because there's nothing gonna happen probably until maybe what, midsummer, late summer? You know, if everybody, this all gets resolved.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's generating zero money, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole plan, was to get it built out and put something on the tax rolls. The county plan was to put something on the tax rolls and worry about the fallout after.
Yeah.
Again,
Is that gonna affect that, with all that happened now, is that gonna affect that grant thing that you applied with the state or whatever?
we actually, last week, before this, we had a meeting with the consultant from the state and there's different, you have to have matching funds for it. And there's all kinds of different stuff. TIF districts is one of them, but valuations, I mean, we had worked through what we thought was stuff. I mean, you still have to win a grant to get it, but
You know,
no, I mean, that's where we were at Wednesday,
With the
preparing for the grant.
with the grants and donations and this, you know. Would grants and donations or other avenues, would it take 60, 70, 80% of the cost or not?
No.
No, 50%?
No.
Okay,
For the workforce housing grant percentage. 20% of the total cost.
okay,
Oh, for this,
Yeah.
yeah, well,
okay. So you have to put quite a little into that to make it work.
but that's where we came in with the knowledge, the know-how of building apartment complexes and doing all the renovations and all this stuff. Knowing, okay, where we can cut costs by doing bids and everything in bulk, ordering everything, you know, at one time. So that way, the overall cost to a tenant, we're not gonna charge them as much in rent to save that money.
And I mean, it's. Well, my way Mankato, it should be lower.
I would think,
My mind, it should be lower too.
I mean, you were saying, do you think, you know, if that was valued right now at 200 or $250,000, that's a reasonable number?
That's what we,
Yeah, that's what you were basing it on?
you got the comps of the other schools. And you got the fact that they couldn't sell it for that.
Right? And it wasn't good enough to be any school anymore.
No, and I don't know where. I mean, we've been down this road so many times, I never once that I can think of, they use replacement costs as a way to value. You wanna, what's the replacement cost of this? I mean, you take the replacement cost of a normal house, and if you're gonna tax it that way. Your houses in Good Thunder couldn't be built for less than $250,000 to $400,000. That's a replacement cost. Why they chose to do the replacement cost in the school is one of the things we gotta get to the bottom of. I wasn't there today, I couldn't be there today. Stuck on the replacement cost portion of it.
Yeah, that's an insurance company question, not the Blue Earth County Tax Board, what it costs to replace it. I mean, I don't know why they brought that up.
I don't
That's where
either,
they valued it.
because the house that we owned and we tore it down, that was not valued at a replacement cost.
No,
That was valued at a high, it was a little high maybe, but I mean, it was not replacement cost, so I don't
I
understand
can tell
either.
you, when I worked with the county last summer on other properties, they did not look at the replacement cost, didn't consider that at all as a factor. Instead, they looked at the rent rolls and they looked at, okay, what income does those properties generate? And they went with that, regardless of the replacement cost being drastically lower, they didn't care about that, they cared about the income generation from that property.
We have that all prepared to perform on with. The estimated rents. Cost analyzed and everything from garbage, snow plowing, electrical, we did all that, and
Yeah,
What's weird is how they can have it as apartments already when it's not. Especially when you take a piece of dirt and build a house that first year.
Right.
It's still considered land, not a house. And they're doing, it's parking is
So that.
through apartments up and running and functioning.
With the state grant program, we can't touch anything in the school. So the school still has all the lockers, everything that already had been in there, the day the school stopped owning it. The day they stopped owning it, whatever was in there that day, it's still in there.
Yep.
Because we can't touch anything, we can't remove anything.
as the last time we were here, we talked about them bringing the RFP out for this, they did. It's out and they're taking applications starting.
Well, they still have to vote on it.
Oh, yeah, that's a date.
So January 11th or something is when it goes, and then it's supposed to be out next week. We should know on the 11th if it's at the board state to approve again.
I mean, there's still buckets in the hallways down there catching the water. There's issues. You know, it isn't a. Just go in there and build it. There's things that need to be fixed structurally, you know?
You were there, what did you think of the meeting?
Well, when he kept bringing up replacement costs, I go, that's an insurance agent question. That shouldn't even be involved in this today. And it's way overtaxed. It is. It's just, and I mean, it's gonna take work to get it. You know, you can't start out at a $2 million building and go up from there. It's not feasible. I don't, you know, again, we can give support till the end, and we can probably talk to some of the commissioners if it gets that far and just say, you know, man, come on, let's go. We need this to work for.
Kicker is of all the three buildings that we listed that are like this one, this is by far the best one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's,
Yeah.
I don't understand how. You're valuing one at 127, one at 81. I
Yeah.
mean, that one is the one that's a commercial building in Vernon Center, there's actually a business with employees in it, manufacturing stuff inside of it. And it's valued at $80-some thousand.
I suppose it's too late to ever take the gym portion and the outside there and turn that into some kind of trust. Say the Legion has a trust or something. Is any of that ever doable after you?
I would actually love to do that, with that portion of it, get it into a nonprofit.
Yeah.
For sure, but that is again. Down the road, didn't anticipate there being $40,000 in taxes this year. Down the road and yeah, I
Frustrating. Yep,
shocking.
yep.
Like you said, Garden City's up and running and they got that, whatever that. What, I can't even think what the name of it is now, but, and you have nothing function, you don't have a dollar coming in there.
Well, you're talking about Welcome Manor?
Yeah, welcome
Yeah,
manor,
Welcome Manor.
yeah, that's a functioning, bringing revenue in.
Yeah, so is Welcome Manor a nonprofit?
I don't think that is. I'm assuming it's some kind of government agency or contracted for a government agency.
Yeah.
There could be a portion of it, because wasn't there, oh God, how would you say it? Young ladies that were in despair that they could go.
That's the Welcome
That's-
Manor.
That is the whole,
Yeah.
okay, all right.
The valuation of the building.
Should not change based on who owns it. Like it,
Well,
Welcome
even if
Manor,
it's a nonprofit, even if it's a nonprofit, there's gonna be a value in the building.
Mhm.
It's a quarter what this building is.
Yeah. And there's a lot of acreage there. Here, there's no extra acreage, over there, and I know acreage don't really add that much to the value, but still,
Welcome Manor is a nonprofit.
is
it's
it?
a nonprofit.
Okay.
Well, I don't know either what we can do tonight, I mean, other than support you with whatever
Continue to
you have,
communicate with you.
yeah, whatever you send us.
Tax, lawyer consultant gets involved.
Yeah. I would think that maybe even if there was I mean, I don't even quite know how to write a letter that would be good enough to convince the county board to get off center here,
And it's not just us that have been contacting the commissioners, it's been a dozen other people.
Well, it needs to be the people of Good Thunder.
It has people here. Well, wait, there's just zero, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, there's zero logic in that's a $2 million building.
No, I mean, you're not
I
wrong,
mean,
yeah.
when you take 21 apartment buildings and you take the stuff and you divide it out, it's $317 per unit that a working class family is supposed to pay in property taxes.
Yeah,
It defies everything that they talk about. On the affordability factor.
That's basically a quarter of the rent. Per month.
Well, we took that over 21, there's 2 single bedroom or
Yeah.
studio apartments in there.
No, I'm just saying in
Yeah,
general, it's a
exactly.
quarter,
50% of a studio apartment goes to pay property tax every month.
I guess we can all agree it's way out of line for the valuation. And what we can all do to keep this progressing, is, I guess, hear from that law firm. And if they need us to support things, we're going to do that. We want it to work.
it's kind of like I asked last time you were here, is there somebody that we can send a letter to or something to kind of push things along? I mean, do you want us to push this along?
I think what I need to do is let the expert,
That's-
let the expert lead
Okay,
us a little bit, tell us what the best path is. Maybe it's, they go down to the county and then they work something out. Maybe it's beyond that.
maybe they'll wake up and realize, oh, we did screw up. But government never wants to fess up to it.
But you guys, they had mentioned something, you guys had said something about no, he said we were too late,
he said we were too late.
but the tax consultant person that we talked to just immediately said, that's the truth. So,
well, in the reading I've done, it does sound like the board really can do anything. The county board really can make a decision on something like this. They have the power. Whether it's today or next month or last week or whatever, but
And again, like Tom said, ask that firm if the city can not take that portion for a year or whatever of that tax, because that would help out quite tremendously, you know. While standing empty.
We just have to be careful. I mean, you realize too, that's a slippery slope for us.
Right, yeah.
So we just have to be
Yeah,
very careful on how we do that, you know?
just appreciate you guys. We're not here to ask that. We're here to inform you of what we ran into.
Yeah.
We're here to tell you that we've hired someone to pick up the torch here and, you know, and cautionary that it is not a sustainable project and what they got to assess that. And guys, that's what they have to assess that today. As soon as we pull that permit, they're gonna see what the permit was for and the thing's gonna be
The valuation will go up is what
Yeah.
is,
a lot. Under the parameters that they're setting.
And like
That'll be, that 2 million now will probably double or more.
and
If
Right.
it's set at 2 now.
I asked him the question too, you know, say you're up and you're full in 2025. And say in 2026, you need to do $500,000 worth of work on the roof. Does that up the valuation then too again?
What do you say?
What did he say? He didn't really ever give an answer, did he?
Well, technically, the value of the roof, because it needs to be repaired, it bring down the value of the property. And then when you repair the roof, it'll bring the value back up. But if you only fix a portion of the roof, how do they determine that? So it, like Robert said, they didn't really answer it great.
No,
Um,
I mean, everybody has to fill out a permit in Good Thunder, you know, whether you're doing a breezeway or a window or shingling. There's no cost for shingling, window replacement as long as it's the same size, you know. But if you go down there, you know, and it's a viable business, they're gonna wanna know, well, what did you pay? Well, if you paid $500,000, oh my God, the building went up in value? No. It's gotta have a roof, you know,
If you wanna use that theory, then the building should have been valued at $1, right?
yeah,
I mean, I know that's not practical, but really
Yeah.
that's,
yeah.
The roof and stuff's general maintenance too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It
Same
was
way
just,
windows or sidewalk concrete cracks, you replace that.
it's just like here,
It only lasts so long. It's maintenance.
it's non-chargeable for new roof, I believe. So I mean, if you had to go down there and spend $500,000 and put a new roof on it, it's just maintenance. It shouldn't up the value of it. Well, but I suppose in a house, if you put new shingles on it and a year later, you could say, you know, hey, I got a new roof on it and it ups the value of that house, I suppose.
well, I'll be really curious to hear what the law firm in the city says. And you can let us know what that is, and then we can see what we can do further. But
I agree. I would like to, actually, I would like to involve our attorney, the city attorney here, and ask him some questions too. And see what we're looking at, for sure.
difference a month makes, huh?
Pardon?
What a difference a month makes, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, last month it was looking good. Now it's don't look as good. Yep.
Yeah, we won't sugarcoat it. It doesn't look good at all. That's not sustainable. Not in any way, shape or form. So they have to move. They have to move.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will, in my opinion, but
I think
for
the
whatever
board,
reason there.
the board was, you know, this compost thing out here, that was, you know, that was raising a lot of controversy, you know, but when the people all went down there, you know, they knew that that couldn't be left the way it was. And if us as a council and people from the town call and say, you know, it's a viable thing for our city, you know, I think that's what it will take. Some individuals calling down, talking to their PAP over here, our representative and stuff like that.
So we'll get this law firm engaged and then give you feedback.
All right.
If we're up against some state laws or something, we need to know that.
Yeah,
We just,
Yeah, that's why I thought we should see our what our attorney
Yeah.
has to say.
But I wish we could get the question answered to how you came up with $2 million for that building.
All right.
They probably don't know.
And the guy you met with today was not a decision maker? Was,
No, he just took all the information, he took the pictures and he'll present it to, what was it?
Mr. Mayor, he was the actual assessor that assessed it.
oh, he was the assessor.
Yeah, and they take it to, what, a couple people on the board and then they take it to them other people, right? That board that realtors are on?
Like I said, he assesses the building and then he has his boss or someone that takes it, yep, okay, and then that's it. And then if we want to appeal the process, then they have to take it to a board or we have to take it to the board. And if we don't agree with that appeal, then we can appeal it again and take it to the county board, which is the further one.
We're kind of delivering the message it is what it is.
Yes.
I mean, that's why we. Yeah, that's
So
not.
that's why we started the whole process on Monday. That's why we met with them today. Was we tried reaching out to him to ask him why he gave us a $2 million valuation. And like Mike said, his response was, that's what it is.
Yeah, send it in, but anyway.
Not in Good Thunder. Sorry.
Old school building.
No. So, well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I mean.
And hopefully we can all get together and make this project doable yet.
Still our goal.
Yep. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Okay. Down to Bolton and Mink. He brought some pictures for us tonight.
Yeah. The 2024 Holiday Backyard Sanitary Sewer Project. We've been talking about this the last few months. It's that portion between Halliday, North Halliday and Front Street. Kind of the extension of Flynn Street there. So we've been through the process of identifying the property lines and the easement lines available. This map does get a little busy, but the lines that are shown in red are easement lines or right-of-way lines. So what we identified is that we start at the intersection of Front Street and Flynn Street. There's an existing sanitary sewer manhole there. Heads to the west, it goes underneath that shed on Brett Winter's property, 200 North Front Street. And then from there, it bends both north and south. We follow that up to the north through those backyards there of those homes along Halliday Street, the 200 block of Halliday Street. There is an existing 12-foot wide right of way through there. Going north and south, it's an old railroad bed. But what we found is we located the existing sewer pipe, and the existing sewer pipe is maybe 10 to 15 feet east of that right of way. It's on private property, on the Winters property, and on the Pongratz property. So two property owners there. So what we felt was best, looking at the plan, the path of least resistance is to reconstruct the pipe in the existing location because it's out of harm's way, meaning it's not underneath trees or power lines or some other utility lines in the area. So we were meeting with the property owners because in order to do that, we need permanent easements from them to get the pipe and within a permanent easement. So we met with the Brett Winters, well actually Jay Winters. Jay is Brett's dad. So I met with Jay out on site there and don't anticipate any concerns from him with working with the city to obtain a permanent easement. He gets an improvement from the project that actually removes.
Don't know.
No problem. So he'd remove those manholes and his sewer service from his bigger shed there, that newer gray building dumps into the city's sewer line. So he's got a benefit there because his sewer service will be connected to the new main and everything. So I think we'll be able to obtain a 15-foot permanent easement along the south and west side of the Winter property there, Brett Winters. Then if you continue north, Race and I met with Steve and Liz Pongratz. They own that kind of agricultural area in the southwest corner of Mill Street and Front Street. They are not willing to work with the city to grant a permanent easement to put the pipe back where it is now. We kind of talked about, the existing pipe is on your property. It's been serving the community for a long time. It's in an area that makes sense. They're under the impression that this is the opportunity for the city to get it off their property and put it elsewhere. One thing that's an interesting legal question that I was talking to Jeff Damras at in our office is does the city have the right to go in there and maintain that pipe anyways? It's on private property, but it's a city-owned pipe. And it's called prescriptive easement if you've owned something for over 15 years. And not if you own it, sorry, if you maintain something on a property for over 15 years. Ultimately, what it comes down to, if the property owner disagreed, it would become a court case. The city versus them, if they own the property, so there is that. I'm not sure it's a great idea to pursue, just given some of the history there. So anyways, long-winded story here, we're coming to the point where we have a few options that are left that we've identified. So one option is to connect to the existing pipe where it is at the intersection of the two properties, the intersection of the Pongratz property and the Winters property, and potentially leave that. So it's a 6-inch clay pipe. I saw the televising. They're only able to televise with a push camera, not a remote control vehicle camera. So it's always a little bit challenging to see the clear footage because the camera's kind of spinning around. You get a little disoriented watching the footage, but in general, the pipe it's in fair condition. There's no major offset joints. There did appear to be some steady water flowing through the pipe. Could be I&I that we always talk about, infiltration and inflow. It's always challenging to know, is that coming from the 6-inch clay main, or is that coming from, the services up on Halliday Street there? So there's one option. Also, we reached out, we have some kind of lining experts in our office there. You can line a 6-inch main, even if you can't. One thing I forgot to share here is we never found the exact north end of that 6-inch sanitary sewer pipe. We got a push camera up in there, probably about 50 to 75 feet from the north end. So we have a really good idea where it's going. And the north end of that sewer pipe, in all likelihood, will still be on the Pongratz property. That's important to know. You could line that 6-inch clay sewer without knowing where the north end of it is. So we felt like that was a good option for us if we wanted to, what it would allow us to do is reconstruct all the new PVC underneath that drainage swale and everything. The more southerly portion of the project and along the Winters property. So it would still be a successful project. It would allow us to, clean up all this sewer, get new PVC underneath the drainage swale. We just can't reconstruct it on that same alignment going north. So that's option one. And then option number two is to, once you get to the north end of the Winters property, to deflect or add a manhole structure and divert that pipe to the west into that 12-foot easement, and then run it due north within that 12-foot easement and put a clean out or another structure on the north end there. The repercussions of that is there's a fence. Well, there's a few things. There's some clearing and grubbing that would have to take place. There's some trees and overgrown scrub brush that's developed within that 12-foot easement. The big thing is at 241 North Halliday, there's a fence that's out into that 12-foot right of way. It's about 115 feet of fence within that right of way that would need to be, removed and replaced, moved to the west and out of that right of way to allow us to construct the pipe within that 12-foot right of way. It does add a little bit of a cost. So we have to add a manhole to deflect the pipe because we can't just go putting a bend on that sewer pipe without a manhole. So we're estimating about $10,000 if we wanted to deflect that thing to the west. That $10,000 would be adding the manhole and then the additional clearing and grubbing going to the north in the 12-foot right of way. And then coordination with 241 North Halliday and the relocation of that fence.
That wasn't brought up to them yet then. Well,
No, none of this has been brought up. This is just, I had the conversations with the Pongratz and the Winters with Race last week, and now we're just relaying that information to the council here.
So that fence at 241, it's on the easterly side of the easement.
Yeah,
So if you chose to go there, that fence would be put back on the westerly side of the easement then after the project's done?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
correct. And generally how we've handled that, we really would prefer to stay out of, including that as a bid item in the contract. Usually we're asking the property owner to do that ahead of time. Just because, we get the general contractor in here that's here to dig the sewer pipe. They generally they're not experts in, 6 foot tall privacy fences.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's a 6 foot tall privacy fence. It's got 4x4 posts, 2x4 stringers, and then the 1x6 dog ears tacked into it or whatever. Mhm.
I mean, normally then the city picks up the cost of moving that fence?
Generally, in our experience, it's a property owner expense. The only time the waters can get a little muddy is if there was a permit or something that was approved.
That's what I was thinking, probably was.
Okay, that's where it can get muddy and. That would be a little bit more of a lawyer question than an engineer question.
I don't know, but I'm suspecting
We
that.
didn't find the physical permit, but Sue found on Beacon it has a record of permits and they had a permit for a fence in 2005.
Okay,
And again, there was nobody probably mentioned that find the lot lines.
And I can't find the actual permit.
Yeah,
yeah,
So that would be the question, like you said, Mr. Mayor, is if, approving a permit is one thing, but if it could have been contingent on locating the property lines or putting the fence on your property. So it's hard to
yeah, it's
know.
hard to say. I
Were
mean,
building permits back then, were they stored up at the shop or were they stored down here?
as far as I know, they're down here, but
yeah, I would think so.
I don't know that for a fact.
I can look around up there.
I mean, yeah, I would have thought there would have been a file each year of building permits, whether.
There is, and it goes to 2000, the ones in here go to, I think, 2008 or 9.
Any in the.
And then
is any in the-
Is there any in the archives back
I
here?
couldn't find a 2005 box. Without tearing the whole thing back there apart, and I wasn't feeling like it,
So, okay.
so.
Did you find anything up your shop, Ray?
I haven't yet, but I haven't looked real hard about it yet.
Mhm. I mean,
Well, either way,
I would think it'd be awful viable just to line that from that northern manhole.
Mhm.
Think it'll leak at the top ends? Where the
Yeah,
individual lines come in, cause we lined other pipes in town and only to find out later that it's leaking at all the, where it should have been top added.
yeah, I think it's called an end seal you can
Yeah.
do where the services tap in. We would want to do that. That's just kind of I guess one step up from lining. You line it and then you do the end seals at the services. So I talked to some lining people about this. And lining is sort of interesting. The lining contractors, they're looking to kind of make $20,000 a day. So the linear foot of pipe that you do in a day, or that's how much work, I shouldn't say that, that would be gross revenue, not net. So where I'm going with that is this, it would be nice to couple this with another portion of town to do it such that there is more available for them to come in and do in a day. I guess another way to say it, so this is about 250 linear feet. So if you take, the $20,000 divided 250 linear feet, you get, I think, like $80 per linear foot of lining costs. But you can get that down to like $35 per linear foot of lining costs if you have more available to do. So our suggestion now, unless we have something readily available, would be we'd put a manhole there at the intersection of the two properties. Connect to the clay there, and we could line this at a time where we have another area of lining available to do.
Well, we got a storm sewer that is down there. That goes north, 150, if you went across the street to them, we'd have another 200 feet of a storm sewer down by the bell tower.
Okay.
That could possibly stand to be lined instead, because it's in between the sidewalk and the curb and you only got this much room.
Sure.
And it's probably not in bad shape, but there's a little swell at the beginning, but go and line that.
Yeah.
And then underneath the highway, they were talking about pulling a new one there though, weren't they,
Yeah,
Ray?
cause that was.
That one's in bad
that
shape.
was Plastic, I think, but the.
No, I
one-
think isn't it cement?
I think the one that goes,
They
I think
stick,
the line that goes underneath the county road is plastic, but when it gets to that boulevard, I think that's gonna turn to clay. And that was collapsing in part of it.
yeah.
They stuck there, he stuck that,
So I think we could probably find some
Yeah.
more to make it cheaper per foot, you know?
Yeah. And we'd want to do a little investigation, cameraing of some of these lines that you're just talking about, so. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to, with this project, we could connect and, connect to the clay and then. Kind of regroup on some of the lining, cause they're not gonna be a lining contractor bidding as the general contractor on this job, so, the city has a lining contractor that they've worked with in the past. Is what I'm saying, we could do this project, reconstruct what we can reconstruct, connect there. And we do some lining with, contractor we worked with in the past, could include this area.
Brian, did the water, I go up that time in December there? We got 1.5 inches.
I sent him the chart. I don't know if he printed it out or anything, but.
Well, there's a place you can line something there if you can
Yeah,
find
there
it.
is, yes, it was
Yeah.
like this and then.
Yeah,
For
Is
2
that?
days, for 2 days, the 2 days that we got a half an inch of rain one day,
Yeah.
half an inch the next day. And it went up about 40,000 gallons
Yeah.
each of them 2 days and. Directly back down again, so it's up, down.
And it's in that
Turn on a faucet.
northwest corner of town?
yeah, that's where it identified, 50% of the ionized coming from.
But it was instant and an instant gone. Just like somebody turned a tap on and turned it off.
The kicker of that's just got us baffled is the smoke. We pump smoke in almost every manhole in that area and there is not smoke coming out of.
How much water? It's almost like there's a storm
like a-
sewer hooked into a sewer line.
Right,
Or a field.
Field
tile.
tile.
yeah.
Maybe the roof at the school.
Uh-huh.
Maybe the roof at the school is hooked into a sewer.
So I mean,
Yeah,
obviously there is somewhere up there, maybe a guy should just start lining them pipes, because that's our biggest contributor right now.
some of that's newer though, the cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
cul-de-sacs newer.
And down Shabbat, that's all new.
Yeah, but that road keeps
Yeah,
collapsing.
yeah.
That road, we have had that sink, what, 3-4 times? And after we redone it, now we had to fix it again, last summer?
Yeah.
What are you
And
talking
it's
about?
right down the center of the road.
By the church.
Yep,
The Catholic Church?
yep, on the north side.
A stretch there that.
So something is undermining there, that the roadbed keeps going away.
Yeah, it's gotta be going somewhere, right?
Yep.
I mean, it's.
Yeah, something's happening.
Creating a suck hole or.
And I bet you after this winter now, next spring, it'll be sunk again.
There's a good place to start looking.
In front of the church, you said, Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on the north side of the Catholic Church, yep.
I suppose we should go on the ground wrong, but there's a big patch that's
Right
right in the dead center of that block.
Right there, even with this house, this whole area right there is sunken. So there's something.
That's newer there too, though, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it, but. No, was that water they dug up 2 winters ago? Or is that?
yeah, I think there was a broken main.
Yeah,
But who's to say when that got dug, that
Yeah, didn't get back.
sewer tile or whatever got cracked or
Oh, yeah.
bigging or shifted?
I wonder would a guy televise that first to see what it looks like?
Yeah, televising gives you the most data, right? You get to see the condition of the pipe, there's cracks in the pipe.
Then I guess since you're down here. In this area here, you should start there and go all the way up that hill
Yeah,
and past the church.
With televising.
Yep,
yeah.
yep, because somewheres. Right here. Up through here. Something's happening, especially right there.
Yeah, it's just- Can't remember how far that 2006 project, did that go west of, is that Minor Street, isn't Shabbat and Minor?
Funny thing is too, with the INI that I see down there. It's not just rainfall. It's when the snow melt happens in the spring and all of a sudden we get this. Several days that, we get. A 60-degree day and we get a bunch of snow. I see it rise then too, so it's like a catch basin, a storm sewer, groundwater.
What year
It's
did
not
they?
like a roof drain.
Holiday at that end when they redid that whole road, or something could have got tied in wrong there too.
Could you put a flow meter? In,
Well, we did, Robert, at the intersection of Flynn and Front Street there, so we were right on the downstream of all that.
So I mean, there's a manhole here, there's a manhole here, and there's a manhole here. If you could put 3 flow meters in there and see where that starts.
Yeah. Yeah, what we'll be up against there is there isn't enough flow. You need to have almost an inch or inch and a half of flow all the time going over the top of those flow meters there. So
Okay,
if you start to get too isolated, there won't be enough base flow for that flow meter to work properly. That's why when we divvied it up the first time, we kind of broke the city into quadrants. Each with, 50 or so houses in each quadrant to kind of maximize that. I don't know if we're gonna be able to hone in too much more with the.
if you would ever turn on the fire hydrant and I mean, let it run for 45 minutes, wide open.
We did that this.
Nine flush hydrants.
Did it?
When he did hydrants, we watched. And it didn't raise the influent flows at the pond at all, and he let them go good and long this.
I let them go so so it clear out all
Really
the
flush them.
basins.
So I don't think it's coming in through our storm sewer collection system.
We would have found out with the smoke test.
Yeah.
Too. So then it's gotta be ag. I mean, I know I keep talking about sun pumps, that
Yeah.
doesn't solve the instantaneous rise, I do get
Yeah.
that. But it does bring a lot of water to the ponds though, if they're connected.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There used to be three trailer houses right here. And that's just west of where the issue is. Was there ever something there that? I mean, even groundwater, and you decide it can't hit the pipe that fast.
Right,
It's gotta be on hard surface to hit it that fast for him to see.
Yeah,
yeah, it's instant.
or like a Hickenbot or a, an egg drain or something.
Yeah.
There could be a tile that everybody's built over the top of 50 years ago.
Yeah,
Well, I think
I
when
bet
this
that's what it is.
this was constructed here, there was a couple of field tile found there.
Yeah, I think there was issues there.
Yep, there were, I'm pretty sure there was a field tile in there.
But that should have been taken care of then,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But one of the-
I remember the project, but I don't remember the details.
I mean, would a guy video going up that cul-de-sac too? Because we knew there was old field tile there?
I think we need to do some,
Yeah, let me look at there's been a large portion of the city's been televised.
Yep,
From.
but I don't think up in that area, right?
Let me check before we,
Probably wasn't because everybody thinks it's new,
everybody thinks it's new.
yeah.
Yeah,
so there can't be a problem.
but somebody could have hooked that pipe up
Mhm.
and the trench, it's gotta be hooked back up,
Yeah,
But even though
but
it's
even though, yeah.
field tile wouldn't hit that fast,
Right,
right?
Well, it's just a standpipe out there.
Well, yeah. But is there any standpipes by you, Scott?
What's way out, 300-400
Yeah.
yards out.
Yeah,
is that, Grace, I think you mentioned.
When
Main
that
Street,
gets a lot of water, it cools up and it'll sit there for
yeah.
a long time.
Cooling?
Yeah,
No, it's right by Scott's house, down at the end of that block,
okay,
where all the water sits right at the end of your street.
But they got that,
Yeah, and if
they
you,
dug down because it builds up with water always.
is that on the west end of Main Street?
Yeah, the-
Shabbat.
Job it way at the end on each side of the road, they
There's those
put,
two.
remember they dug it up and and all they're doing is feeding that water back through
Storm sewer.
it's the backsplash.
Yeah, it's
Like-
behind the curb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
back curb,
there's 2 intakes there.
because the water all runs, and even that it backs all the way up almost to.
Yeah,
melt.
Is there a sanitary sewer casting that would get water ponded on top of it?
I don't.
what, Joe?
I said, if there was a sanitary sewer casting, you'd have just 2 open pick holes, but if it had 6 inches of water ponded on top of it, I mean, that thing.
I don't think the
starts-
water would come up that far, because it's right. That manhole is
It's at the end.
fairly close to the
Yeah,
intersection.
no, it'd have to go up
Okay,
a long ways. Most of it, when it got down at that field, it's like 4 or 5 inches deep, but. the
so
farm-
we looked in both those manholes at the west end of Main Street and Shabbat Street, and there's nothing coming in from the west. There's only a pipe going to the east, like there should be, but we got a bad thought too. What's important, I mean, you're making progress, right? You're doing projects, you're trying to improve, it's not like we're,
This one here is an original. That's by my house. You know, so all that there, I don't know what that would have been.
To the backyards.
You know, that was when they put the original stuff in the seventies. That wouldn't have been plastic then, would it?
Yeah, mid-70s is the transitionary zone.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I believe.
Ain't there an easement behind your house and Arlen's and all
Yep.
that? So that there's a storm sewer and. a
That's where the water
water.
runs too. Cause we had a main break there one time in the winter. I believe so, yeah.
2 times.
So I mean, you know, if we had a line that pipe, you know, we could just take some of these existing ones that are older and just line them,
Mhm.
you know.
Well, I like his idea, of running a camera. in 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
it looked great. I mean, might as well use the lining somewhere else.
yeah,
right.
I agree, though. I mean, that's a viable way to cure the problem.
Yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't, one thing it doesn't do is solve up by the houses, right? I think it is still important to look for sump pumps and do
Yeah.
that investigation, because there's a lot of water that can be generated from
Mhm.
sump pumps and footing tiles. I think that's
Yeah.
important. Even these houses along that front Halliday Street there, kind of mentioned to you on the phone there, Robert. I mean, their backyards fall off pretty good to the east.
Yeah.
It's very possible they could have a footing drain around, you know, and then dump it in on the east side of their house there. The challenging thing is identifying that. Really the only way to identify it, well, there would be 2 ways. If they had a clean out inside the house, right inside the footing, could camera out that way and see if there's a pipe, you know, dropping in the top of the sewer service. Or you have to physically dig outside the home, which isn't any fun. Another good thing during this project, what I'd like to do is, as they're digging along, extending these services, to camera up towards the home while they're doing that, to see what you can find. Some of these homes are set back really far, so hopefully we can push the camera in that far, but. Mhm.
would. Well, we wouldn't be digging, though, we'd be lining the pipe, okay, I was thinking, you know, all them, there's no access except through the basement floor. You know, if you would put a clean out, but we're not gonna dig if we line it, so,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, we're just in a. You know, if in the future possibly there was a property owner. That was more willing to work with the city, that, you know, that would be the opportunity to reconstruct the remaining portion of that pipe going to the north there. You know, if we want to make where it is and line it now.
So I'm a little confused here.
Yeah.
So the stormwater actually runs from north to south to the middle, and then from south to north to the middle, and then it goes east? Is that what we're seeing here?
Sanitary,
Sanitary sewer, or the storm sewer.
The storm sewer,
So,
the sanitary sewer, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, yep, so that was a true statement there, Tom, yep.
Okay, okay.
Yep,
Sanitary.
so it flows north up Shabbat Street. Heads east north of Halliday, heads east at Shabbat. And then continues east over to Front Street there,
Okay,
yep, and then it flows north to south along that backyard
Okay.
area. Mhm.
and this here area here, Tom, that's where that swale is.
Yeah.
And that pipe is in what, 4 feet under the ground?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
right,
fairly
yep,
shallow.
mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
So,
the sanitary,
yep, sanitary, yep,
surprising it doesn't freeze up.
that's right. I can't believe it. I mean, in reality, that swale wouldn't have to be there, would it? Once we're done?
It does need to be there, yep, it perpetuates water
Oh, from the very south.
from the very south. up
That's
to
right.
that.
And we got a catch basin on the north end.
You got it.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yep.
Well, your plan to me sounds like that's probably, line, reconstruct, going east,
Yeah,
all of that.
yeah,
Reconstruct in the swale, reconstruct going east in the existing easement and just line that other pipe.
yeah, we agree. Oh, I think there is not an existing easement along the Winters property, but they're willing to work with the city to.
Oh, okay, okay.
Along this.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we agree. I think it's the best bang for your buck on this
Yeah.
project, right? I don't know, to reroute it up that 12-foot easement, relocate the fence and stuff. I'm not sure the value is there in an I&I reduction and an improvement for the city, I guess.
And I think the feelings are someday when the one landowner is may not be here anymore, that may be sold. So then you could probably get an easement from somebody else and continue on if it had to be.
Mhm.
You know, if that's 5 or 7 or 10 or 12 or
And
15 years.
and lining it, that's gonna add useful life to that pipe
Yeah.
then too, right?
Yes,
So
yeah, absolutely.
That's like almost a new one.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
yeah, it is. One thing I don't love about it in this scenario is it's a 6-inch pipe now and you line it, the liner's a 1/4 inch thick, so it'll be down to a 5.5 inch pipe.
Right.
It's serving 4 homes. Those homes are up high. They're like up. The homes are up about 16 or 17 feet above that sewer pipe. So even say 8-foot basement, they're still a good 8-9 feet above that sewer pipe. So they got a lot of head pressure pushing down on that. If something were to get caught.
When I backwash the filter plant hard and heavy, the water spurts out of the house, out of the toilet on that house right there with the swimming pool in the yard. Right there.
In the corner there,
211,
Carol's house.
Yeah.
211.
She gets water spurting out of her toilet like a geyser when I backwash the filter, so. It's pulling a vacuum and then
Yeah.
releasing it. It's pulling a vacuum, releasing
Wonder,
it.
does the house have a vent, a standpipe vent in it? Shouldn't happen. If the house is vented properly, it's creating a vacuum. Think about that one for a second.
Probably
Yeah.
hasn't.
If it was vented properly, it shouldn't create the vacuum to shoot water
Yeah.
upward.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan back there.
Well, you need a motion then to move forward on that plan, or actually you gotta get the easements and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we need a motion tonight. I think, just wanted to communicate where we're at with the project and we'll move forward with connecting to the existing at the property line there. Like I said, I don't think we should line with the project. I think we should wait till we kind of have our ducks in a row for a little bit bigger lining project.
Yeah.
And then line at that time.
Okay, this could all be done and then in the future,
Yeah.
next fall or whatever, it could line.
Exactly. What's key about it is we're putting a manhole at that property line because they need that access point
Yeah.
lining.
It'd be right in that corner of the two
Does that-
properties.
Does that
Yes.
manhole have to be off the existing property, any amount of feet? You know, so,
If it wasn't a contentious situation, I think the answer to that would be no. You know, generally when we're doing water main curb stops, or water service curb stops, they're going at the property line. In this scenario, I think we will keep it a couple of feet off the property line, just
so there's probably no foot traffic, no nothing on the existing property to the north.
yeah, they allowed some foot traffic. I didn't feel like, you know, life was in jeopardy there, but they were clear that we were not to be digging on that property.
Or piling dirt.
Oh, probably, yeah, so yeah.
We know, that was specifically said, is there would be no.
And that was another conversation was, the reality is with the 12-foot right of way, that's not practically wide enough to construct and pile dirt in.
Yeah,
So we would have had to been talking to those property owners on the west side to say, hey, that, you know, there's gonna be a few feet of dirt here. But I think we have a good plan.
you know, if you need to move that off that property line 4 or 5 feet or whatever, so you know, nothing gets disrupted.
Yeah,
It'll be a lot smoother project.
yep, I agree with you. Thank you
Yeah.
for that input.
6 foot, right? Anything that it takes to make it doable.
Yeah, so we're all in the clear there.
Just thinking out loud here, where's the water, the fresh water? Where does that just go down Halliday? Is there any,
Yeah.
and then County Road 35, is that where that goes?
Yep, it's along, so there's a loop system, it goes up North Halliday, east on Milky Street and down along Front Street or South 35 there. Mhm.
Okay, so that's a loop, that's fed from both directions already.
Yeah, what's happening here is that there wasn't depth on the sanitary sewer on Halliday Street to serve those homes to the west, you know, those homes that front Halliday. Typically, their sewer would go
Yeah.
to the street, right? But there wasn't depth on the sewer main there. Obviously, water is a pressurized system, so their services come off of Halliday Street there. Their
Oh, yeah,
water
yeah.
services, but not their sanitary sewers.
That was redone when that Halliday Street was
Yeah.
redone.
Yeah, got it,
2006.
got it, okay. And then you'll get all of this easement all cleaned up and all that, and then get the televising done that we're talking about.
So the televising has been done for this
Yeah,
project.
no, but I mean, I'm talking the extra
Yeah.
that we're
I
talking.
would like to look into what we have, just to make sure
Yeah.
we don't double up on something, because we have quite a bit, actually. And then what we can do with that televising then is determine some good locations to line in conjunction with the 6 inch.
Yeah, and if there's an area that's not televised, I think they should do it,
Yeah.
get it done.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think those areas like near your house there, Robert, I think they didn't televise those for whatever reason, that backyard kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
easement area. I remember looking.
These two manholes here in that right of way, you know,
Mhm.
them two manholes, what kind of shape are they in?
The existing ones up there by the.
Yeah, these two green ones here, you know, right there.
Yep, so there are no existing manholes there.
Oh, there isn't any?
No, no.
Oh, okay. These are proposed then.
Yes.
Okay.
okay, good.
What is that little green arrow right there that is routing over to the new ones?
Yeah, that's a little storm sewer stub that I think will get affected by the setting those two sanitary sewer
Oh, okay.
manholes. Let's see.
Yeah, right.
there. Yeah, so
Right
there's,
there?
yeah,
Yep.
so this little guy's the sewer service, and then
Okay.
this is a storm sewer pipe coming down that discharges to the ditch and then.
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
it goes
flows up
down to, and then
I can't.
it discharges right here somewhere, right?
Yeah, here's that intake
Oh, okay,
structure
right
there.
there.
and then
Yep,
it flows along
okay.
through there. Mhm.
All right.
Huh.
So this project would be done next spring then?
Yeah, yep, just gotta get through the easements here, right, the design is coming along nicely, just want kind of putting the finishing touches on it here. I'd like to get it uploaded to bid kind of in February,
Good.
we get some bids back from contractors, kind of end of February, early March, I would say. Mhm.
So you're gonna set 6 new manholes, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
Or would there be 7 there where Jay Winters's property has to be hooked up? Would there be one there or not?
no, that will just service wide into the main.
Okay,
Mhm.
so there would be 6 new structures in this project. 1,
Yep.
3, 5, 6. Yep, okay.
Yeah, we're kind of, it's tight little right of ways, trying to. Kind of do the best we can to mitigate, I guess, easement acquisition.
And you have to set another structure right here because to run that curve over to the other existing one in the highway.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
correct. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, that was another thing, the Winters property, they were happy about knowing that pipe. It's gonna be laid to rest, that's underneath their shed there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that time when there's some gas or something got in there, Tom? They
Yes.
had to aerate that for a while?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
a spill there in that shed where we had to aerate the sanitary sewer on one of them manholes in Jay's property.
Really?
Yep. So yeah, it'd be much better not being under there.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then this will get capped.
All right.
So footage wise from Jay's building out there, that would all be in this project cost, right? Because, he's gonna have probably what, 20, 30 feet of run of sewer?
for his private sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's included in the project cost.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
Kind of seemed like a good faith effort.
Yep.
You know, it is, because, yeah,
He's willing to work with us.
well,
so.
we're changing it, not him, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm. But he agrees that, that he doesn't want that pipe there, and he really doesn't like those two manholes sticking up
No,
off
I-
the ground, so.
they're terrible, the way they sit there like that.
When the Holtmeyer guys are here to look inside of it, he didn't take the cap off, he literally just pushed the
Oh, yeah, they're in bad shape.
grout on that metal, it's not even holding anything.
All right,
Yeah, probably the next step here, we'll draft up the official, so I reviewed the easement with Jay, but we haven't typed up the legal document, our surveyors will do that next. So we'll do that and get them to sign there and we'll be in good shape to do this one.
Sounds good.
all righty.
At least we're moving forward,
Yep.
doing
Yeah.
something.
We had a meeting out at the pond the other day, him and John and Ace, and talked about ideas for the chemical addition down there. So did you guys want a little bit of a briefing on
Sure.
So the chemical that we would probably use is alum or ferric chloride. They were suggesting putting down footings in a small building, metal building with a tank inside so that Hawkins could come in mini bulk. They call it mini bulk. They come with totes. He's got a pump. He plugs it into our plug and he fills our tank from the truck, the box truck.
Just like an oil delivery outfit.
Yeah.
The same thing they do over here, right?
Bulk and, yeah, like what they do here.
Yeah.
And so in that building would be the pumps, a couple LMI dosing pumps.
Yeah.
Like we have for the chlorine and fluoride here. And underground carrying pipe that goes into that transfer station where the water's transferred by pump. An injector in there. And a double containment tank in there for the chemical. And they're talking about redoing the fence so that they could get in there with the bigger truck and turn around east and come back out without going too much on the dike. And if they did that, I just asked if you guys would think about. It's nice at the South Bend facility that I run, when Hawkins has to come and deliver chemicals or things like that. There's a keypad and he just goes one arrow, the gate opens. He drives in, does his thing, comes out, two arrow, the gate closes and it's closed all the time. I've got a key fob that I use to get in and out. It would be nice to consider doing a fence that's electric.
I agree with
It'll
you.
be closed more than every time me and Race go in there. We get the thing, we close the gate when we leave. So I don't know what the cost of that would be, but I think you guys are gonna draw it up that way. Yeah,
That building, that would be on which corner of
right inside the gate to the right.
yeah, on the right there,
On
yeah.
the dike there.
So we got electricity there?
Yes, yeah, you got the panel there with the starters and stuff for the two submersible pumps in that. So there's a panel with room in it, plenty of room in it.
Yeah, the building, it would kind of sit right next to that electric cabinet that's out there, in between the existing fence and the electric cabinet.
Building, you talking 12 by 12, what,
Well, I was
10 or?
working on sizing that here today, actually, I was looking at 12 by 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That might be provide a little more comfort room in there, if we wanted to have a little table or something in there. I think the bare minimum was 12 by 16 to get what we need to get in there. That would allow us envisioning it. There would be like a garage door style on the 12-foot side. That's where the tank would be accessible. And then one of the other sides would be like a service door that, you could open, someone could go in there. So inside there would be the fillable tank, like Brian noted.
Eye wash,
Yeah, the portable eye
it
wash.
has to be with the chemical that they use, you have to have an eye wash
Yeah.
Mhm.
and ventilation.
Yeah, well, that's where we have to just think through this a little bit, how far along we wanna go with some of that stuff, A little bit of background, I think we talked about it a couple of meetings ago or so, a little bit of background is. The bare minimum, you have to cover the chemical, it has to have a rain shield on it, it's the absolute bare minimum. And I think it's a good idea to get the pumps enclosed inside a building, just out of harm's way there. So from our standpoint, how we're envisioning the project, we could size the slab that the building needs to sit on, the slab or the footings, I think we'll go with slab on grade, but we're still working through some of that there. And then, size the dimensions of the building needed, and from our perspective, I think it would be a good idea if the city, if it's something, you have a local carpenter or somebody to work with to either frame up a shed, you can basically buy these
Yeah.
sheds from Menards or whatever and frame one up. And as long as we have everything sized adequately, that you can put the chemicals tank in there, and kind of show where things are going to go a little bit in there. If we get involved on, it could end up being more expensive, I guess, if we get involved to design the building and go out for quotes and all that type of stuff. So that's where we are envisioning the project right now, was sizing the slab, telling you what type of shed or building needs to go there, the size of that shed, and where things should kind of be configured inside of that building.
It'd have to be heated too, right?
So it would not have to be heated,
Oh, really?
But with the pumps, Or,
So you won't use the chemical during the winter when it's harshly cold.
Oh, really?
We'd only be looking at treating,
Yeah.
or sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, yeah, you're only gonna be treating spring and fall when you're discharging.
Mm-hmm.
So the pumps will only run
couple times a year.
September through December and April through June. It's pretty warm out then.
The chemical will get like a little
But
bit.
your eye wash
Oh, yeah.
is supposed to be tepid water by OSHA rules. And it would have to be warm, so.
Yeah,
But you know, if you insulate that building well, these little hanging furnaces
Yeah.
you get from Menards would keep that thing at 5 degrees, no problem. Probably wouldn't cost that much.
are
Yeah,
those eye wash stations fairly portable, Brian? Or
yeah, they have ones that just wheel around like a cart.
almost like a keg?
Yeah, and you just
Yeah.
flip it open, or otherwise they got those ones that Fleet Farm's got one that hangs on the wall. And you just pull it down like this and it starts spraying. It's always full of water, but I mean, it meets the
Yeah,
standard.
so I was just thinking the keg style one, it could potentially be removed in the winter if they.
Yeah, true.
Frigidly cold.
Security is something you're gonna wanna keep the vandalism out of there. Anybody that's gonna think about.
Turn it into a meth lab.
Yeah, or weird stuff they can do. If there's something worth stealing, it'll be gone.
Consider, yeah, fencing that in then.
Yeah, well, it'd be inside the current fence unless.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought, I just outside of the gate. Okay,
Yep,
all right.
it's actually
that
up
should be all right.
fairly tight to that electrical panel, you know,
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
8 feet of that.
But you said, just a poured slab?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're,
It'd probably have to be footings for that.
Yeah, we're still-
Barrick is heavy.
yeah, we're still working.
3
with the
totes of that's
structural
gonna
guys
be
to confirm the weight of that.
300. That's gonna be 30,000 pounds.
Yeah. We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
We're still working on. Slab on grade is better, some things are better there.
Mhm.
Okay.
All righty.
Yeah,
I just wanna let you know, we talked about it and picked their ideas around a little bit.
Have you guys looked out there about the generator? Did anybody, did we have to have that engineered or?
As long as it was pretty much, it was okay, as long as we're not digging into the dike past the topsoil and.
Yeah.
As long as it's on the
outside.
outside, not the
Yeah,
inside.
yeah, okay.
Past that, it's.
There's no specs for setting a generator down there, just,
No, I mean, the bigger thing is sizing the generator, which sounds like you worked with the
Yeah.
electrical company to do.
That, they called me a couple weeks ago saying it's ready to go, so whenever we get
okay,
whatever we need to do out there done, they could bring it and set it.
all right.
But if you were looking for any assistance or if you want to stop out, we certainly can.
All righty. Well, I think we got quite a little accomplished here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you all.
All right.
All righty, thank you. Okay, Sheriff's Department. 77 hours, ordinance violations, assist law, disturbance, fraud, welfare check, domestic suspicious vehicle, paper service. Any questions on that?
I will say that our new liaison is really stepping up. He's been around when we need him. I have emailed and Race has about doing different things, checking different things out, and he's right on it.
That's what Race has
I
said.
mean, we got
He's
back.
been
to me
really
on
good.
it The day on something that I'm talking about, so I mean, it's.
Yeah, good.
And I've noticed, especially coming back from when I drop my daughter off at daycare in the morning. There's always I get pulled into town right around 7 and he's always either in the fire station lot or he's in
Oh, really?
he's either the fire station lot, the car wash lot or. By the,
Really?
um,
Good. Yep.
Almost every day he's in one of those 3 spots, so.
You know, when they come out, they ask us, they do exactly what we kind of ask.
Yeah, they
I
do.
mean,
I mean, they're.
It's works smooth.
He's around in the afternoons too.
Thanks, Joe.
Well, not necessarily him, but somebody
Yeah, someone's,
Yep.
else.
there's a noticeably more present than.
Yeah,
In the back.
early in mid-afternoon.
I think Robert, you hit the nail on the head when you said, when we asked them, and they've been,
Yeah. Good.
they held up on that, so.
All righty, we can move on to Sheriff's or Fire Department. 4 calls, medical, lift assist, 1 mutual aid structure fire, hosting blood drive, 123 of 24 from 12:30 to 6:30. Anybody else got anything to add? No. No, okay, street update, race.
So, that truck we just got. The initial plan was to trade the plow and the sander that were on it towards the mounts and everything we needed to hook up our existing plow to that truck. And it ended up being that his cost to repair the plow to the point where he would feel comfortable selling it for like a commercial use. Ended up being more than he was really willing to do. And the trade that he was willing to give us on that was like $350. And it just, we can get more than $350 selling that plow. It needs some work, but it's not, I mean, it's not like it's junk. I mean, it's. So
Let's put a minimum on it, list it on Marketplace and whoever comes through, you
The
know,
boss.
that's a Western.
Oh,
It's a 2008 Western that has mounts and controller for a probably 2011 through 14 or 16 Ford. But the center pin needs some work, and then the mounts need some welding. That needs some cutting edges, but
How long is that plow? Or wide? Is that an 8 foot, 10?
no, it's 9.2 or 9.6. I
Oh,
can't
it's a big
remember.
one.
But right now, we have, because we didn't trade it, then they charged us a $200 removal fee instead of waiving it. Cause if they take the trade, then they just waive that. So we have right now $550 into it, I guess it would be, but and we can get. I would be hard to believe that we couldn't get more money for that.
how would you list that? Anything over, best offer over 1,200?
Yeah, I don't know what the value, true value is,
Well, I sure think it's way above 1,000 or 12, somewhere's in there.
I mean, new they're 8, 9.
Yeah,
I mean, it obviously needs some work, but you get someone that's capable enough to do that. I mean, that's where a lot of the cost is for him. I mean, he's talking about putting $3,000-4,000 into it to get it up to a spec where he could sell it. I mean, but it's not, and that's including labor for them.
will be listed on Marketplace for best offers over 1,200?
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somebody want
let's
to make
do
a
that.
motion to that then?
I'll move to do that.
Someone a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Anything else, Race?
We gotta get a logo on that truck too for the city. I just wanted to make sure that everyone's okay with
That one you showed.
Yeah, that new one.
Something.
basically this is what the truck would look like. I just wanted to figure. Might as well. Just
Yeah.
make sure everyone's good with that.
I saw it, you sent it to me.
We need a motion on that too.
That's $170, so.
Or is that just
That's
main,
maintenance, I would say.
sound good?
And then I have a bid for what Robert was talking about for blowing out the wall and putting all that stuff. Past that.
I made copies of them.
Oh,
Yep, they should all have it. They were sitting here. We couldn't have
so the first page would be for the labor cost. Jeremy's expecting to do it, and then on the third page would be the material cost. And that would be at the top, it says Good Little City Hall. Like the city shop one is in there too.
10 grand, a little better.
Pardon?
A little better than 10,000. Did you ask anyone else?
I have not yet, so,
We almost have,
That's right. Yep.
otherwise we'll get in trouble.
Yep.
yeah. That's probably.
Do we have to get another bid for the materials also?
Well,
Or
didn't Garmin put
Uh,
the materials together? Or you?
Garmin and Calvin,
Kelvin was here?
yeah, they were
Yeah.
here together.
Yeah. I mean, that's really the quotation from Garm, you know what I mean? That's part of his. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, the next person may have a whole
Right, they
different
might.
idea.
They might do it if that's.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. We probably better get another bid on all of it. Because
yeah, no. Mhm. It's really all I have. We put the, I think we sent the map out for adding streetlights.
I haven't heard back.
Yeah, I'm sure just like it's, I will just. Won't tell you that they're coming and they'll just
yeah,
show up one day and they'll all be here and then you'll never hear anything about it. Okay.
the shop bid, you know, we got all winter to work on it, but where would Race go? Where would he go to get another bid, do you think? Anybody got an idea?
There's the entire web construction, but
Trying to think of what's around here anymore.
I mean, Strunitzky, does it do anything over here?
I don't think they're in the business anymore, are they?
Or, I don't know.
I don't know. That's
I
what I
don't know.
heard. I don't, I could.
I
be
know
wrong.
Dan doesn't, but I
Dave?
didn't know if he,
Dave?
Dave, yeah, if he's into remodeling or anything or not, I don't know.
So,
I heard he's.
he's more just working up at the apartments all the
Okay.
time and.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well,
I can look.
I would suggest if you would like, call Calvin and say, council needs 2 bids. Who else would you consider?
there you go.
you know,
Sound good.
Sure.
Yep.
And then, so, if we don't have it here, I think they'd have to put new lights in that side, and I have a bid from Luke's, and I think that was.
Yeah, Luke's was what, 4,800?
$5,000, yeah, 4,800, yeah.
Same boat there, try to find bids there, or what do we,
And I'm sure he's gonna wire some outlets in that down, you know,
yeah,
and he'd probably have to set a sub panel over there, probably. Does it say anything about it? Sub panel? Just. And I guess, you know what? Chances are we should probably have another one from there too.
So we should get,
They seem like we're scrutinized, so we better make sure we do that.
who'd we get? Another electrician.
Oh, I mean,
over, nothing local, close.
Guy Doyle, he helped, Guy Doyle, he helped finish up the gas station, Target that did down there, you know. They're some smaller local guys, you know,
Yeah. Pick one of those.
and I'll probably have Guy's phone number. If not, Jason does, I know.
what was the name?
Guy Doyle, Doyle Electric, Hardison Electric.
Maybe just get one more. I have to contact 2 of them to get one.
Or. I look around, try to find someone else local too, so.
There's a few smaller ones in Lake Crystal.
And you'll be getting the big truck back tomorrow, right?
Should be, that's it, when I talked to him earlier, he said it'd be done by the end of the day today or ready to go tomorrow, and I didn't get a call today, so I'm hoping that it should be ready to go tomorrow.
Yeah,
Being, there's sections of bad wire in a couple of spots, and that's why the lights weren't working like they needed to, so.
anything else, Enris?
No, that should be it.
All right, water sewer update, Brian?
I just have Amy Lynch coming out tomorrow to do water sampling at the well house for the Department of Health. It's just stuff we do every year. So I'm meeting her at Pemberton at 9 and then we'll be coming over here. After that, she'll follow me over. We'll do some testing and she'll be on her way. I did get fourth quarter water to MBTL for bacteria and fluoride and everything came back good. So I see you got the results up in there in my box. So that's all good. And I don't know if Ray's updated you. He and I took a look
Oh, I have.
up in the top of the filter to find out the condition of the header pipe. And each got photographs It has torn free. That's why the pipes are shaking so bad. It's torn
Oh, really?
free
Yeah,
from
and a
the
couple-
structure that it was bolted to.
Yeah,
Those welds on that structure broken. When the well starts, that whole thing shakes inside the filter now, so.
okay.
We braced it up and down on the floor, but it still shakes pretty good, so. Time is of the essence.
Yep.
For
Filter.
a new
Yeah.
filter system.
Yeah. Whatever
Great.
that might be.
Right here, you can kind of see that there's that crossbar here. This is where there used to be one here
It's rotted off.
and it's rotted. You can see the two, I think it's actually right here. That's the crossbar sitting on it.
So that's up,
Yeah, it's up inside the top of the filter.
you have to climb up in there to go see it,
The same way,
do whatever and.
kind of see there's another two struts there where the crossbar is supposed to be. I'm sure that.
Can you reinforce it on the outside to keep it from vibrating and shaking? Because it
Oh,
possibly,
wood.
oh, that's right, it is wood up in the top end.
So this is where
Yep,
that's where it's broken. This is
Yep.
actually the crossbar right there.
that's the trays.
Yeah.
Yep. You could have a Cosmos there with them trays and all that's, what do you call that stuff?
This
The
right here,
lignite or whatever.
that's supposed to be that and
Yeah.
just like how this is, and then back here, that's in the very back, that's another one that's supposed to be sitting there.
And there's a big old squirrel cage fan on the other end.
Yep,
The bottom of that's getting all rotted out.
well, they're working on that, right? We forgot to ask him. They got,
Yeah, they are.
yeah, I mean, time is,
Lord knows what they're gonna suggest.
That fan, that's when you just put that new belt on.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
belt that we took
A lot
off.
better.
I switched that belt and the guy, I brought it to the guy and he said that that belt was from a company that went out of business in the eighties.
oh, yeah.
So
That's
we got our
been a
money
long
back out
time.
of that one.
Well,
So anyway, that's about all I have for an update on things.
all right. Community comment, anybody? Unfinished business, library, food shelf?
That was just kind of an update on what you were gonna do here and the food shelf, it was brought to my attention that other cities don't have food shelves. They all have like loaves and fishes or the churches, was it Winnebago or something? So they were just kind of wondering why the city is still doing it.
Well, we tried not to and we got,
And that's kind of what I said, and I mean, there hasn't been any use for quite a while. We did get a donation last week. But other than that, I mean, and my other question is, what's the liability with the food show? Is there one? I mean, I don't know.
There's a liability with everything.
So I'm,
That's a question you can put out to Kennedy. That's something he'd have to answer, I would say. It's kind of a damned if we do, damned if we don't, I think, you know.
correct.
I've heard some gossip that the Lutheran Church might be interested in doing something. But when, the problem is you gotta staff it or, you gotta watch it. You gotta, like you know, I mean, somebody's
Well,
gotta be.
somebody's
here.
gotta be here so that people can access it, correct?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You just
Yep.
can't put it
A free
someplace.
for all.
Yeah, it's just not.
Mhm.
but then in with the other gossip, isn't it that we're redoing that so
We can.
Sue can watch? I
Yeah,
mean, no, it
yeah,
isn't.
That's the point.
It's a dungeon.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's,
the
it's
point.
cold in there.
It's cold in there and
It's
it's
cold in
not
there,
very
and it's-
appealing.
No,
Yeah,
It's not very appealing
and
at
half the
all.
lights don't work in there. It's dark,
So, I mean,
so.
again, he just said it, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I mean, I'd be all for, I'd make the motion to get rid of it. I would. But we went through that already.
Yep.
Well, so who's coming up to check on it is
Nobody, I haven't seen anybody here in over a month.
neither Tim nor.
No.
Jack.
Jackie hasn't been here. I haven't seen Liz.
Liz made one appearance at a meeting
Yeah,
and then I,
so other than that, I haven't seen anybody up here to check on it, to go through food if it's expired. That's the first donation we've had in a while.
So that donation came after me and you looked in there?
Yes,
Sweet.
yes.
And there
It
was-
came on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that was opened up and we still had it, whether it needs to be or not, that there could instantly go in there when somebody brings it then, right?
Correct, yeah, I mean, I don't, if somebody comes, my opinion is if somebody comes in to drop off, they shouldn't have to put it away. The food shelf. These volunteers that wanted the food shelf should be
Here,
here to do it.
Maybe that's a question. I don't know where Tim is tonight, but maybe it's,
He had another council meeting, I can't remember if it was Vernon Center or where, was it?
maybe it's just something we can bring up to him again and. Cause it seems like he's active with the loaves and fishes in
Mhm.
Mapleton anyway, right?
I don't know if it's
think
loaves and
so.
fishes or, no, he's with
Feeding kids or feeding them.
Jesus Foods, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not sure where that's out of or what that is, but
Okay.
yeah,
well, anyway, when we get another bid and if you choose to move forward, then we're gonna have to make a decision, right? Whether we keep the food shelf or not,
yeah, yeah.
you know? So, I guess, you know, for another month it will remain in
that's
there.
okay. I just was wondering what, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, past due water bills.
So I did send those out. They were due the end of December. I got some, but the ones that have over $1,000 did not.
Okay.
So would you want, the next step that I'm assuming would be to send the letter and then the disconnect notices?
Yep,
Do they both go out at the same time, like the door hanger and the letter, or do you send the letter and then in a week or 10 days, whatever it is? How does that work?
I guess I'd send did we send them registered?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. We sent them registered. And I wouldn't wait only
Say-
5 days after they received it to get Race to go there and put a door hanger on. Your water will be shut off tomorrow at 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. You know, unless you make arrangements, and we've had a lot of satisfaction out of that.
Yeah.
When we get that far.
Okay,
And
You see,
so,
I didn't see anything in the ordinance about the registered mail. That's why I'm,
well,
Well. it's
you know,
just-
if that's how you want, I don't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Otherwise they say, well, we never got it.
that's right.
Yeah.
Correct, or is that why they put the door sticker up there that they send the letter and the door thing at the same time? So
Well,
that
yeah.
they know they've got it on the door.
We need to send a return request. So
Yes,
that
return request.
We have.
I would do the,
Okay,
letter with the date that will turn it off, and then a few days later have Race go put the door hang on with the date.
Yeah.
But are there does Minnesota have any protective laws on not having water in the winter though?
No.
as long as
Is it required for heating?
as long as it's not required for heating, and a lot of these old houses probably have hot water heat.
Some might.
I do.
Yeah.
Our house still does.
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I do.
Stir.
I
How are
don't,
we gonna know unless they come screaming that?
So that's, yeah, they'll have to let us know then, you
I
know,
guess, yeah. I mean, how are we supposed to know?
with that, we don't.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever shut water off in the winter for this, for non-payment?
Believe we have. I believe we've been up and down that route because people jump up and down. It's like that law doesn't affect
Mm-hmm,
water, you know.
that door hanger gets a lot of attention,
mm-hmm.
you know, so.
And all we're asking is that they come here and make some sort of an arrangement.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be
Reasonable.
reasonable, you know, I mean, we'll try to be reasonable.
And if you had any that in question that could be a little unruly, talk to Andrew. And just have him sitting outside doing across the street. You know, because there used to be a couple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any on Chapel Street that are way overdue? That was really a bad one.
I don't know exactly where these people live, to be
Dude.
honest.
How many of them are there? Laura?
There's,
In-
oh.
Do you have a list of them, Sue?
mhm,
We should see that.
Okay,
We should know that before we do this.
Yeah.
And if you could
So
even
I'll do
reduce them
the-
tonight, that'd be great, but otherwise, like, if you can't, that's fine.
I can print out the letters that I have ready. I have to change the dates on them because I printed them out a while ago, or I had them ready. I mean, I can print that list out. If you want me to go try to find it.
If you could, I mean.
Okay.
when-
If we have a strategic, if we,
Well, how about, I'll hold off on this, you know. I'll put a notice also on our website and on Facebook that says, please, you know, water bills that are past due need to be paid. Call me or something. We'll put something on Facebook too.
Yeah,
You won't get much attention on that, but
Well, no, but at
we're
least,
trying.
you know, and then when I'll bring it to the strategic meeting.
Yeah.
Letter says within 5 days.
Something like that, yeah. Yep.
Although you gotta almost set a
Yep.
date.
Yeah, you
of
do.
5 days from this,
You do.
receiving this, otherwise.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, that enough on past water due bills, new water meters? What's the status on them? Are we, and that,
So,
Strategic meeting.
yeah, I think, well, I brought it up last meeting to have, I think we need to have some kind of strategic planning meeting.
yeah,
If we did that, if everybody could do that next Monday, because I think,
Two Mondays, next Monday's holiday.
Next Monday's a holiday, it's Martin Luther King Day,
Okay.
so you'd have to go the following.
oh, that's right, yeah, okay, the 21st. Yeah,
I don't know, I can't see. I don't know.
yeah, I can't read that.
yeah, next
Second.
Monday's a holiday. That would be great. I would have thought that'd have been a perfect day to do it, but.
Yeah, if we could do it, or we could do it Tuesday, if you wanted to do it Tuesday, that doesn't matter to me either. But I think we need to come up with a plan for the water meters, the sump pump and the lead pipe inspection.
Mhm.
So if you could be there too, they'll be the first ones we talk about.
If it's next Tuesday, I can't make it.
You can.
We got
do
a fire meeting.
Want to just, yeah,
That following Monday then?
the 21st or
Second is.
22nd.
Yeah.
21st Tuesday. Are you talking to, I'm confused.
The 22nd is a Monday. Right, 2 weeks from tonight.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Weeks from
Yeah,
From tonight.
yeah.
It's the
Because 1 week
22nd.
is the holiday, 2 weeks is
Correct.
not, yeah, yeah.
Yep,
But, you know, I think it's just, we need to get some kind of plan going to how we're going to implement some of this stuff. But I think the water meters and the lead pipe inspection and might as well throw the sump pump inspection all in that too. And
Mhm.
mhm.
because the lead pipe needs to be done by,
September.
okay.
By September, it has to be replaced.
No, it needs the
Oh,
inventory.
we just need an
You
inventory.
gotta get a list of who's got it, and you're only required, what, so many a year?
It's 2%, 5%
Yeah.
at the city's expense.
At the city's expense,
You know,
from the curb stop into the home?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Really? See, I can't figure out, there's one down there on Holiday Street. They never replaced.
Hmm.
I can't figure that one out. And Brian had one and that's redone now.
Yep.
South Holiday.
Hmm.
So, all right, sounds good. 22nd,
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
perfect. Logo wear?
So we talked about this, oh gosh, last fall sometime. I bought this one as a sample. I've been wearing it. I like it. I would like to order some more. I don't know if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
Race has some, he hasn't had, I don't think you've had a chance to wear yours yet, cause he's,
I
Got some
have,
ones.
I'm kind of waiting for summer to see how it deals with, I guess heat and sweat and all that.
Dollar amount or how many?
these are, I think they're $36 a piece, the ones that I have, the one that I bought.
Okay, about races?
Races were about 26 to 30 for the t-shirt and then a long sleeved,
remember the green.
the safety
Oh, okay, yeah.
with the
They
reflective.
have a logo on the back of
Yeah.
it, which John did mention, or we talked about this last week, that. However, however we, we can talk about this more at the strategic meeting, but. When we go into houses, we probably should have, whoever's going into houses should probably have some sort of
Yeah,
Identification.
logo just affiliating us with the city, just.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what dumb thing could come up, so just,
You think like a vest with reflective with a.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or on the back, like where
Yeah.
it's a SWAT team,
yeah,
something like that.
some affiliation.
that's what I need in my house. So, do we go by dollar amount or number of garments or shirts? Half a dozen of each or X amount of dollars?
Yeah, why don't, well, if you're gonna wait, we might as well wait to order yours, you know, unless you have one that you can sample already, but. I would say like 6,
If we're gonna be ordering something, if nothing else, just have a couple of them safety vests.
Yeah, we can
Breakaway,
for
and
sure do
just
just the
put
vest.
that logo on on the back or
Yeah.
up in the corner.
Yeah, city-
Probably put a small one up there and maybe on the back too,
Or even if you just put City of Good Thunder on the front and the logo on it.
Mhm.
you know,
Like the other ones that you have, you've got the logo on the back,
Yeah,
that one you have.
yeah,
so they just silk screen them on.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe a good few of those for, especially when we get to.
3, 4 of what large.
Half a dozen garment or each?
Yeah.
Somebody want to make a motion on that then?
So move.
Someone second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. All right. New business, 2024 council committees.
So that has to be done every year, am I correct?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay.
And do you have a list of what we're on now? So, you know, sidewalks and highways.
I had it and I don't know what happened to it.
Is it up there?
It's on the website.
Used to always be up there, but
I
maybe.
don't,
Yeah, that's
I've
right.
never been up there. I had.
I know it's on the website.
Is it? Go
I'm
look.
almost certain of it.
You can find it faster than I can.
Well, while you're looking for that, we can move on to official posting places.
Were we all on council last year? Were you?
Minus
on-
Amy.
Yeah,
Amy.
First,
Scott and I were sworn in last year, this January meeting last
are
year.
you on a committee now?
So personnel, I know for sure.
Yeah, we all are.
Here we are.
Yeah, we all put, and,
There's streets and highways and alleys, parks. Is there water and sewer?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's water and sewer, and there's a garbage one too, I believe, isn't there?
There's, yeah, garbage and,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's about 6 or so entities that we all take part in.
yeah. I was
I know-
gonna suggest that we all stay on the same committees and then
Whoever
Amy-
Ron was on.
Amy just takes the ones that Ron was on.
Yeah, but Ron was on highways and I don't think I was on highways or streets this last time.
Oh, you weren't? I thought.
No, I think Scott, you and Ron were.
Not around the street.
Yeah,
Oh,
I guess I wouldn't mind being on the streets and highways.
Here,
There we go.
this is the one from last year. I just had put Amy in where Ron was.
Yeah.
Um,
okay, water, sewer, garbage. That would have been Ron and
Can you
you.
push that to the review meeting if Amy's gonna be there for that? Can you push that to? Or is that?
no, that should be done, this one should be done this meeting.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can work it out so that. You put Robert here. We weren't on any committee? We were on water, sewer and garbage.
Yeah, yeah. That was on streets forever, but
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
So,
so. oh, I guess. Scott is only on one,
yeah,
maybe put Scott up here.
there you go.
Amy.
Yeah. Water, sewer,
Water,
garbage.
sure.
Well, take a look, John.
Good deal.
Front facing,
Huh?
front facing.
You know, I get a goal anyway, so what's another one?
Okay, so shall I read them off? Did make a motion out of it then?
Sure.
For committees, then water, sewer will be Amy and Scott. City sidewalks, alleys, Robert and Scott. Recreations, parks is Tom and I. Personnel committee will keep as the full committee as of yet. Administrative committee is Tom and I. Acting mayor is Tom. Fire chief Phil Clamor. Yeah, that's the committees.
You made that as a motion?
Yeah, I made that.
Someone did a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I oppose, motion carried. Alrighty, official posting sites in the bank or official banking and the official newspaper.
I think we do need to actually make it official that the gas station is. The,
One of the
the newest,
notification.
yeah.
Yeah, the
Board or whatever you want to call it, posting.
post office, Red Iron here and the website. Our official postings,
Yeah.
correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's just, I'll make a motion that continue.
And the official banking and newspaper, we want to put it under all the same one?
We can.
The official banking is
US Bank.
So
US
US
Bank,
Bank.
right? Yep. And the paper is Maple. River Messenger, right?
Yep.
Correct. Okay,
So
Ron made a motion, someone second,
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Bill approval between meetings.
That's the one Burkhart and Burkhart pointed out this summer. We did a motion this summer on that one. Motion to allow the city clerk to make payments for bills up to, I think, 3,500 is what we talked about, Sue,
I
3,500?
think so. It was 3 or 3,500.
Yeah, we'll say 3,500. And that's just for those in between meetings. If something comes in that she needs to pay before we actually meet to do the official bill approval.
yeah, and then you present it for approval after the next
Correct,
meeting.
yeah.
Right
Yeah.
after the fact.
And then got. You gotta be paid within 30 days.
Right.
Right.
And usually I've been trying to make sure that we get them all,
Yeah,
but every once in a while you're gonna get one, especially when summer comes around.
yeah.
Right.
We've got a lot more projects going on.
So that was a motion too.
Yep. Who made the motion?
I did.
John did, someone second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Internet billing, 1-year contract with lower fees.
So I called Consolidated last week because we had internet issues. And then I started looking at our bill and the city hall only has 30,
Megabits per second.
thank you, megabits per second of internet, which is ridiculous. And that's is why I sit and spin a lot on the computer trying to get things up. But we can up it if we sign a year contract. Now, I don't know what we have any other options in Good Thunder. I don't think we do.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
But if we sign a contract, we do a contract with them.
Check. Just on the bill, just the other day, they said something about check with them if they got that Fidium.
I checked into Fidium for my house and they don't have it.
Have it out here yet,
No, they don't even know.
cause they're linked in with,
They're linked in,
Consolidate,
but yep,
so.
they're not
I
out
know they're in
here
Lake
yet.
Crystal now and
Yep,
Mapleton.
Does the fire station have consolidated on there?
yep. The fire station has 60, the shop has 10. So his is really soft. What I'd like to do is get them all up to 60.
They should all be up to 60.
And then just do it. And I think with yours, I think it was a 2-year contract. Was that the best? I don't remember. I don't know why every time I try to.
Whatever it is, we should do it
Okay,
Yeah,
because that's the most wasted time there is
oh, absolutely. Yep.
waiting for the computer. More hours are lost that way than any other way.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
And I did have NetMedics come out here and they put some more RAM in there, so that should make it better.
Good.
Because we were getting, our memory was really full.
Good.
So,
I'll make a motion that we do this consolidated communication at all 3 locations
okay,
at 60 contract.
okay.
Tom made a motion, someone second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Alrighty, miscellaneous business. Raises, valuations,
Do you guys do 6-month evaluations, or I know Race has been over a year?
I know we're lacking in
We're
that,
really bad at that.
we're lacking in that.
Yeah, what the process is, and I know, when you guys were doing the budgets, there was talk about the raises and when that would go into effect.
And I believe John brought it up that we should go through the evaluation process, right?
Yeah, I did, I'd asked, Sheila Hubbard from Mankato from the league, for a couple examples of, written evaluations. One of them I do not like, and that was the one I had gotten from somebody before. But of the 2 she sent, the second one I do really like. And that just kind of fell off my radar, otherwise I would have had copies of that to talk about that tonight.
Why don't we talk about it at our strategic planning committee?
We can if you want, yeah.
Yeah, bring it along then, and then we can approve it or whatever and get going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Brian, boy, are you in trouble.
He won't show up.
I'm just.
Yeah, you're saying show up.
He won't show up.
Well, if they come out, they can come back with questions too, or what
Yeah,
Mhm.
you know,
they
and
expect of the city.
Personally, I love the idea of it because if I am doing something wrong, I'd really rather know
Yeah.
sooner rather than waiting for a bunch of stuff to build up and then
And we've been wrong at that. And again, I don't think anybody's ever been rode up for 10, 15 years, you know, so that could also come with it, you know, but that's part of it. That's part of the evaluation because, you know, that might be a very instrumental part going forward, you know?
We just got so much on our plates.
Yep. And again, you know, we were talking about meeting twice a month.
Yeah.
Well,
We
this is the
can't-
first of the year. We ain't doing too bad.
No,
But you know, in coming summer, we might have to have a couple, especially if these guys keep coming with water, lagoon.
we're gonna have two this month.
Yeah. So,
Actually,
Yeah.
3.
so yeah, I guess that sounds like a good idea.
Right.
Okay,
That-
all right.
We're bad at that and we need to get working. on
Yep.
that.
All right. And then, oh, how about miscellaneous for any of us? Anything?
No, I got nothing.
I don't think I have anything either. I mean, so we can go to the back and there's an MCFOA annual conference.
That's, and I don't know if that's, I know that's not necessarily part of the schooling and the classes that have to take place. I know when I've been to some of the clerk meetings, they've been talking about this. I looked at it, I looked over it, and it looks like there might be some important information. I mean, something that might. Actually, I might be able to take something away from it, as far as like budgeting, and there is a new clerks. It's a whole day thing regarding new clerks and different things like that.
I make a motion that you go, stay at the Kelly and do it. That's, we've always
Always
Yep. encouraged that and, yeah.
And if you come back with something new, with pay.
Right.
Plus you listen to other.
Back always paid for that.
Yeah, and there's a ton of different.
Always paid for my
Yeah.
continuing education.
Different.
So I'm gonna have to go to some, there's one in St. Cloud I gotta go to every 2 years. The 3-day.
Yeah.
Tom made that a motion for Sue to attend this meeting. Someone to second.
I'll second this.
Scott seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Hey,
I oppose, motion carried. One thing under miscellaneous here, we have a deal from Burkhart. Did we miss this last month or how come?
No, it just kind of came and
Oh,
that was
really?
mine. That was on me.
Okay,
I
So-
forgot that part.
you know. With our strategy meeting or whatever you want to call it, you know, we offered, just an employee, you know, if you ever needed any help from the cog, you know, we should extend that to also, right?
Right.
Absolutely, you know, and again, this year, I take it that, you know, you have called them, I take it,
Mhm.
and to know what to do. And that's absolutely. So we're gonna get charged a little bit for it, but you know what? To get you up and running and make things work perfectly, that's the price of business.
better to do it right the first time than.
Yep. So. With that said, then that bill will be just another thing, you know,
Doing business.
you can see that the lawyer bill went down considerably. It was $360 this month, you know, it used to be in thousands. So we saved one spot and a little bit on the other spot, so.
You'll contact Kristen and ask him about what his take is
Yeah.
regarding that. So
Yeah, yep.
we get the whole story.
Yep, I'll see what if he's got any ideas or how that all works or whatever.
Yeah, see if he has a good contact on how to, refute it or, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenge it, because that does seem
Mhm.
crazy to me.
Well, I'm hoping that their tax account or attorney will have some avenues.
I would think,
What's sad is the price of it, and it's just an empty building
Yeah.
versus. You got one's functioning.
All right, anything else with
I-
anybody?
Do have one, somebody came in from Staying Active and Independent for Life. It's some sort of a senior. Like a aerobics type class that they have in Mapleton. And they're trying to see if we have room here for them to meet maybe 1 or 2 days away. Look at it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 to 10. And there's maybe 10 women that would come in here and do some sort of like an aerobic type thing. There may be weights that they may want to leave here. It's more like one of those, almost like a silver slipper, silver sneakers type thing.
That is.
She really didn't know if they would have a lot of interest, but they're getting two, they've got too many in Mapleton. So they're all going that facility. I said, this is what we have, and it is open, so they can do people coming in. So I just said I would bring it up to council if they wanted to think about it.
And it's on Tuesdays, every Tuesday,
Tuesdays and Thursdays from about 9 to 10.
or twice a week.
It's twice a week, yep.
Over the fire hall.
Well, and if we had that open, you know,
That
that would
would
be
give you-
something there too. And she was hoping that once the community center, the gym at the school, they would like to do something like that there once that opens. I just don't know if we really have room here
I don't think we do.
for that.
I think maybe we will after we do our project.
Exactly, yep.
I don't know how much room they need, but we got that little room at the gas station, you know, it's not using for nothing, you know.
Oh, okay.
There's an idea.
All right.
But, you know, I don't want to benefit, you know, it's.
I will let them know, and if she wants to, it's Kirsten Phelps.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Anybody knows who that is? Okay. If she wants to talk about that, yeah, I will, she
Yeah.
can talk to the
Got
rest.
its own bathroom.
Okay, that might be a really
Probably.
good idea because it's more private than it is here.
It's not, I don't know. The walls ain't painted, I guess, but
Okay.
no big deal.
That doesn't matter.
They can aerobic their arms with rolling.
Actually,
Good.
yeah.
So anyway, everybody, we got it all taken
You
care
got
of?
the food shelf there.
Well, you know, yeah, there's
Kind of like
churches.
conflict of interest.
I can see that. I can see where that's going. Hey, they sell beans over there. Well, these are free.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, with that said, so we might make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Someone in a second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye, opposed, motion carried. Thanks, everybody.